This is Goddess of Science Physics, now Mrs. Bolvin. And today we're going to talk about, in our fifth part of the About Science series, metric prefixes. Oh, how exciting! So, metric prefixes, it's easy to convert from one unit to another in the metric system. A lot easier than trying to figure out how many cups are in a bushel or something like that. So the good news is they're all based on multiples of 10 or parts of 10. So that's going to be good. So the first set of prefixes I'm going to talk about are all smaller than the basic unit. So making a little chart here, deci is the first one we're going to talk about, and the meaning of deci means 1/10 of the basic unit. So if you have a decimeter, it's 1/10 of a meter. It's kind of like a dime is 1/10 of a dollar. And the abbreviation for deci is a lowercase d. So if you have a lowercase d with a G, that would be a decigram. So whatever is with the lowercase d, that's the basic unit. So here's the memory key to help you remember deci means 1/10 is a dime, which also begins with D, is 1/10 of a dollar. Same thing, a deci whatever is 1/10 of that whatever it is. Dime begins with D, so does deci. The next one that we're going to talk about is a centi. The prefix centi means 1/100th of the basic unit, and its abbreviation is C. Now, this one's easy to remember too, because another word for a penny is a cent, and how many pennies are there in a dollar? There are 100 pennies. So 1 penny or 1 cent is 1/100th of a dollar. So same thing with centi. The memory key is a cent is 1/100th of a dollar, so a centigram is 1/100th of a gram. The smallest one that we're going to talk about that we commonly use is milli. Milli means 1/1000th of the basic unit, and its abbreviation is M. Now sometimes you see two lowercase m's together. That means it's a millimeter. So all of these prefixes can go with meters, liters, grams. It's all good in that way. And I don't really have a way to remember milli is 1/1000th of the basic unit. So what I do have for you to help you to remember this is any prefix that's less than the basic unit is going to end in the letter I, like milli and deci and centi. For our purposes, there are some other ones that you're going to learn about when you get to chemistry that are not quite the same. They don't all end in I, and they are tiny. But for our purposes, if the prefix ends in an I, then it's going to be less than the basic unit. This becomes important when we learn how to factor label. Now we're going to talk about prefixes that are larger than the basic unit. And guess what? None of them that we're going to talk about end in I. So they all end in something different. So the first one is a little weird because it can either be written DCA or DEKA. I usually use DEKA, and this one, deca, means 10 times the basic unit. So there's a couple of different ways that it's abbreviated, either with a capital D, or I usually use a DK to make sure that you know that it's different from deci, which is 1/10. This is 10 times the basic unit. Like a decameter would be 10 meters. Okay, memory key on this one is a decade is 10 years. A decagram is 10 grams. So decade, deca, kind of the same. Hecto is our next larger one, and that's 100 times the basic unit, and its abbreviation is a lowercase h. And the memory key for that one is hecto begins with a lowercase h, and so does 100. Hecto, 100, kind of go together. The last one that we're going to talk about is the kilo prefix, and that means 1,000 times the basic unit, and its abbreviation is just a lowercase k. If you see a k with a lowercase g next to it, that's a kilogram, km, kilometer, or kilometer, depending upon how you say it. So all of these metric prefixes end in something other than I, so they're much larger than the basic unit. Okay, that's all that I have to talk to you about metric prefixes. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.